back, a mega political storm has erupted in Andhra Pradesh over state CID arresting former Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu. He was arrested from Nandyal early on Saturday in connection with the multi-crore AP State Skill Development Corporation scam involving his government's tenure during 2014 to 2019. An anti-corruption bureau court in Vijayawada sent Naidu to 14-day judicial custody on Sunday evening. Now, TDP workers staged mega protests despite heavy police deployment and imposition of Section 144. Meanwhile, special ACB Court is also hearing Chandrababu Naidu's plea seeking transfer to house arrest. The arrest comes just months before assembly elections. And is this a move towards political vendetta? First, let's take a look at what this case is all about. So, after coming to power, Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu had proposed to establish a skill development corporation in 2014. Andhra Pradesh government signed also an MOU with Siemens in January 2015. The total cost of the project was supposed to be 3,356 crore, and Naidu government had to pay 10% of the total amount as grant and aid. In June 2015, the government paid the private players 371 crore rupees. The funds were allegedly released well before time, even before locations for these skill development centers were decided. The APSSDC was also allegedly established without cabinet approval. The deal was allegedly signed without any due verification, and the ACB received a complaint in June 2018 but allegedly did not act because of political pressure. Now, it is also alleged that key evidences were removed from the secretariat during Chandrababu Naidu's tenure. But why does then the arrest raise suspicion? Why does the TDP, for example, claim foul by the YSRCP government? So here's the reason, and the reason is the timing and the manner. So the Andhra Pradesh CID registered this case in 2021. The TDP chief at that time wasn't even named in the original FIR. His name was added in the FIR just 3 days ago, that is September 8, as accused number 37. And just a day later, Chandrababu Naidu was arrested by the CID on September 9. He has now been named as the chief conspirator and principal beneficiary in the remand copy. But the big question that we ask today is simply this: coming as it is just ahead of elections in the state, is it also a fit case of political vendetta? We'll take that forward with our guests.
एक बड़ी सोची समझी साजिश के तहत माननीय चंद्रबाबू नायडू साहब को अरेस्ट किया गया, क्योंकि जगन सरकार को ये दिखने लगा है कि 2024 में उनको नहीं आना।
So end of the day, this is the victory of the people of Andhra Pradesh. He has to get, we have to, as a court of law, has to get back the money from Chandrababu Naidu, giving it back to the people of Andhra Pradesh.
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Professor Jyotsna Tirunagri is spokesperson of the TDP. Abhaya Chaudhary is YSRCP MLA. Let me go across to Mr. Chaudhary first. There's a charge that is coming in against your government in the manner in which you have acted. For example, the TDP state president says that if you look at the remand, the CID it is clear that the CID is working for the chief minister. The report is prepared looking at just assumptions to, quote, target Mr. Naidu. And this is a clear case of political revenge. How do you respond to those charges, especially the manner in which this arrest has taken place of a former chief minister?
Hi, Shivani. Thank you. See, there is just want to be clear. There is no political vendetta here. It's a pure judicial judgment. We are in a democratic country. Every citizen has a right, and there is certain things which are not accepted. Before the law, everybody is equal. So, coming back to this particular thing, I think then Chandrababu, this was first whistleblown in 2018. Then YSRCP government is not even there. So when this was whistleblown in 2018, there was no action from the government. The second, my main question here is, Telugudesam Party has done a dubious MOU with Siemens. Before even releasing of software, before of releasing any hardware, then why would they invest, why would they send 371 crores worth of state exchange money into by not following the MOE rules.
No, sir, I'm not really questioning the merits of the case. That is fair enough. Of course, this case is old enough. What is being questioned, the manner in which his name has been added suddenly and then the next day he's been arrested. And the manner in which that arrest has taken place. That is what has come under question. You also say that this is nothing political, but you know, we've also seen your ministers, none less than your ministers, actually celebrating firecrackers being burst. So it is purely political, isn't it, in that sense?
Shivani, let's be very clear. If we want to do a political vendetta, we would have been adding Chandrababu Naidu in this one in the year one itself, first year itself. Why would we do it when the elections were approaching? And the second
precisely
thing is,
for that reason. People are saying this is precisely for that reason. You are, burdening your key political opponent with this kind of an arrest of its chief just months ahead of elections. This is precisely why the political vendetta charge is coming in. The timing and the manner.
Shivani, I think we trust the people of AP, and people of AP are clever enough to understand what is a political vendetta versus this in this when they go to the elections. So let me come back. On the arrest of Chandrababu Naidu, this was a FIR was filed 2 years ago, and Chandrababu Naidu name was not there. After thorough investigation, it was CID that's very clearly was calling out today, saying this was meticulously planned, executed, and directed under the direction, under the leadership of Chandrababu Naidu himself. So my questions to TDP, see, and then the arrest, the scenario of arrest, when the team went in there, knowing that he's an ex-chief minister, knowing his age, they said they would take him in a chopper. They said they have allowed a chopper to be taken him back in and taken to the judiciary. But Chandrababu Naidu himself said he don't want a chopper and he want to go by road.
Okay. That is not entirely what I'm asking you about. I'm asking you about how suddenly this arrest has come about, and of course just ahead of the elections. But I'll come back to you. Let me also go across to Professor Jyotsna. You know, it is easy always to drop the charge of political vendetta, but the reality is the charges were there against Mr. Naidu and his government of the time, and even the court has in a way ratified those charges at this stage by sending him to custody. Ma'am, could you unmute yourself?
Yeah, let me put the point very clearly here, Shivani, very quickly also. They say there is a 370 crore scam that has happened. They say Siemens has entered into an agreement wherein 90% is by Siemens and 10% is by the state government, but Siemens hasn't given it and only state government has given it. That's their charge. But the point here is Siemens has already given the software worth thousands of crores for all the 6 clusters they are talking about. And here let me put it very clearly, all the 6 clusters are functional. All the equipment has gone to all the 6 clusters and lakhs of students have benefited out of it, and the same YSRCP government, I think some official also, I'll give you the name also, from the YSRCP government, they have in fact given appreciation certificate to the same design tech saying that all the equipment is intact and all the you have done a good job in terms of establishing the project. This is from the YSRCP government itself, and it has happened in 2020.
No, but the case exists. Ma'am, the case exists. Let's not go into the merit of the case alone. When you say political vendetta, it is not about the fact that the case existed. It is about the fact that this is happening now.
Let me put it clear here.
Yes.
Why is the chief minister being targeted? Why is the then chief minister being targeted here? Because it's not the check releasing power of the chief minister, or not the chief minister was involved anywhere. Also, when in 2021 the FIR was filed, Mr. Babu's name was not there. Even after so many days, charge sheet was not filed. Even in the remand report, anywhere Mr. Babu's name was not there. Just on September 8th, they have included CBN Garu name there. And on September 9th, they come and arrest. That too at 11 o'clock in the night, they come almost around hundreds of policemen. The point here, when I say political vendetta, everybody knows, including all the top officials, all the police officials, know the tour details of Chandrababu Naidu Garu, because he's an NSG protectee. All the details are with the government, right?
Okay.
All the
Are you worried because of the response, as the TDP says, Mr. Chaudhary, that Mr. Naidu and others are getting ahead of the elections, and therefore you thought the easiest thing to do is now bring this case to the front burner that was lying on the back burner and suddenly make it so that he can be put in jail?
Shivani,
absolutely not, Shivani.
Mr. Chaudhary, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely not, Shivani. See, we have full confidence of what governance we have done in Andhra Pradesh, what development we have done in Andhra Pradesh. And we go to the election with our mandate, not with anybody's arrest. As I clearly indicated, it's a pure judicial judgment. I mean, it's not the YSR Congress party that sent him to remand it, because after looking into merits and demerits of the case, it's the judiciary that decided him to send to the remand. And the other thing that CID was calling out very clearly yesterday, out of the 371 crores, 241 crores was siphoned and converted into cash by using a chain of shell companies and fake invoices being used. So they have clearly marked out a Hawala transaction here, which is linked to then Chandrababu Naidu's.
Okay, but why did you wake up now? Can I ask you a simple question? How come you've woken up only now?
See, it's not woken up now. This particular case is first whistleblown in 2018, and this case was going on from 2 years. But as soon as this exactly will come in. If we start investigating as a Chandrababu day one, they will say it's a political vendetta. When the CIT gathered all the evidence and they put before the judiciary, now they still call it as a political vendetta. See, we are not doing politics here. We don't. I mean, we don't have anything against Chandrababu Naidu.
Okay.
As individual, we only go for an election as a party.
No, I'll come to the election bit in just a bit. But Professor Jyotsna, you want to respond very quickly?
Yes. They say that it's very clear that they woke up now because of the massive response Naidu Garu is getting. Naidu Garu conducted an irrigation project tour of 10 days. Huge response from the people. And Yuvagalam of Nara Lokesh Garu is garnering huge response from the people. And also now we have come up with another program called Bhavishyatku Guarantee, which talks about all the demerits of this particular government. And that's when these people wake up and say, no, Mr. Naidu is correct. Where is the involvement of the Chief Minister? My straight question. Where is the involvement of the Chief Minister then? No, it's absolutely the decision to put in the Skill Development Corporation was taken by the cabinet. If anybody has to be questioned, it has to be Mr. Ajay Kalam Reddy, who was very, very instrumental in getting that corporation on paper, and also Mr. Prem Chandra Reddy, who was the MD and the check releasing authority for Skill Development Corporation.
Yes, Mr. Chaudhary, very quickly, 30 seconds please, before I come in.
Why were those two not questioned?
Mr. Chaudhary.
Jyotsna and Telugudesam party has to understand that YSRCP leaders did not took the case or filed a petition to arrest CBN. It was CID that took up the case. After seeing the strong evidence that was present, the court has sentenced him to 14-day remand. So there was no involvement of YSR Congress party or any of our party. We are ready for the election. We will face the election. The people of AP are with us, no matter what this case in. If TDP want to prove it in the court of judiciary, ask Chandrababu Naidu to come clean. We will be happy if he comes clean. But if the state exchanger has been taken and has been a Hawala transaction happened, absolutely the Telugudesam party and then the government has to answer the public, because this involves the youth and young generation is at risk because of this particular scam.
Okay, Professor Jyotsna, the question I want to ask you though is that how does the fact that the chief of your party has been put into jail or in custody right now, this could be a long drawn matter in the run up to the elections. The YSRCP is actually even talking about arresting some others, including son of Chandrababu Naidu. So, do you think that this is some sort of an effort to restrict you from campaigning and kind of bring it down ahead of the next elections? Is that what you're alleging?
See, that is their conspiracy, because even before the CID puts in him as the A1, all the ministers come out claiming that Chandrababu Naidu Garu is A1. The paper that they run puts a front page article saying that Chandrababu Naidu Garu is A1 even before the remand report is put in before the judge, honorable judge. So isn't it very clear that it is a politically driven case? Absolutely. And now they say, all the ministers again come back and talk in front of the press and media saying that now Lokesh Garu will be arrested, Achan Naidu Garu will be arrested, all the TDP leaders would be arrested. Why are they talking?
Yeah, no, that's precisely the question that I was going to raise to Mr. Chaudhary one more time. There are a lot of statements that have come in from your party leaders even ahead of this arrest. That's the key smoking gun, as some would say. Some were predicting Mr. Chandrababu Naidu's arrest. There are celebrations going on. Now there are calls for others to be arrested. If you are claiming that the CID is acting completely, of its own free will and by the rule book, then why are the politicians getting involved?
See, the party has not celebrated or called or celebrated called for a celebration of the arrest of CBN. It was some leaders on the individual capacity. They might have done it because of the language that's been used by Mr. Chandrababu Naidu or by Mr. Lokesh. They are going quite aggressively and they're calling the current chief ministers and everybody in a very bad manner wherever they go. The language and the filthy language that they're using is really shame that they're using such kind of language. Without going with see, when you go to your people as a public representative, all you need to say what you will be delivering to the people, but not what you would.
No, but in politics, Mr. Chaudhary, you cannot, shove away the fact that if your chief political opponent was to be mired in legal cases and arrests and remands, then it obviously tinkers with the natural process that political opponent would have been, doing ahead of the elections. It's the timing and the manner which can be questioned. But Professor Jyotsna, my final question to you is this. It's not just this case. There are other cases against Chandrababu Naidu. There are other agencies that could also act against Chandrababu Naidu. It is not as if a case has been brought from somebody's figment of imagination. This sword was always hanging over the former chief minister.
See, after YSRCP government has come into power, there were many allegations by them saying that there was insider trading in Amaravati. There was lakhs of, in fact, crores of corruption that has happened in Polavaram project and lot many other allegations, but none of them have been proved. In fact, they didn't see any sort of an investigation also happening in them because there was nothing there. Not even in this particular case, let me put it very categorically here, in this particular case, the company that has involved in this fraud and the people that are involved are not being properly questioned. The CID has falsely implicated Sri Chandrababu Naidu garu, and in fact they are saying very categorically, they are saying that they will implicate furthermore people also. How is Nara Lokesh garu concerned with it? If I have to put it very clearly, how is Nara Lokesh garu concerned with it? Because it doesn't come under the IT ministry, it comes under the education ministry.
Okay. My final question to Mr. Chaudhary also, and this brings us to the question of the timing and the manner. The chief minister was not in the state. The entire country was looking at the G20 and suddenly the CID swoops in and arrests a former chief minister in the manner that it does so. Nobody could react, respond. The BJP leadership was also, busy in the national capital. And it almost seems like you've taken advantage of that to swoop in. And mind you, I'm not asking this question because this is anybody, but this is the former chief minister of the state.
Yeah, absolutely, Shivani, we understand he is a former chief minister, but everybody is equal before the law. And if they have committed a mistake, absolutely, the judiciary will take its own course. And it's not about the timing of the arrest or anything. I think if the DDP believes it's the timing of arrest, they can go to the people and explain and go the sympathy wave and can try to win the hearts of the people. But we are going to go to the election with the hearts of the people with our manifesto, which we delivered 98%.
Okay.
So we are the only government. We are the government that have delivered our promises.
We'll see. We'll see whether this helps you or it actually, how this pans out, and if it actually ends up helping Chandrababu Naidu and his party too. I do thank our guests for joining us.